Hey, I'm back, and so is the cat. You charging in here like a fucking rhino. uh, anyway, it's been a few days since the last update, and though I don't really have a whole lot going on that's new, I figured I owed some kind of an update, right? So here I am. Even though there's not a whole lot going on in my life, doesn't mean I'm not going through a lot of thoughts in my mind. Really? My feet smell good? Are you? Yeah. Okay, whatever, cat. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I'm kind of at a point where life in general just feels hopeless, pointless, and I'm just wondering what I'm fighting for. It's just it's just more fallout from from the mistake that the voting public made 2 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago now already. Damn. Um, and I feared it. I feared what's shaping up, and I'm watching it play out in real time. And honestly, it's disheartening. It leaves me feeling like I will have no place in this world going forward into next year. And it's like end of the line kind of thing. I mean, sure, we still got another week of November left to go. We got December and first half of January, but beyond that, yeah, my expectations are quite low for 2025. I mean, there's that whole thing going on in DC where a trans woman gets elected to the House of Representatives, and you get that bitch from South Carolina that has become obsessed with her and is cramming through all this bullshit about bathroom restrictions and banning trans people from using their the restrooms of the gender they identify with, and and now this same motherfucker is trying to push through you know a bill to expand that ban so that it'll cover all federal buildings, all federal sites. You're talking parks, you're talking any kind of federally run, um, buildings like I can't think of specifics, but like your government buildings, your bureaus, your agencies. I've heard rumblings of even airports being under this because apparently some are actually run by the federal government directly, particularly around the DC area. Not sure about the validity of that claim, but I mean, it sounds like something that makes sense. But anyway, so I'm watching all this play out, and I guess I can put myself on record as saying if it was just about the bathrooms, then I could let it go. I mean, as long as you have like gender neutral options available, and I'd be okay. I mean, I'd hate it, but I would still be okay. But what I'm seeing here is, the fact of the matter is, it's not just about the bathrooms. It is, um, you know, for lack of a better way of putting it, it's a symptom of a larger disease. Um, and what I mean by that is, they start off with, with all these bans on gender affirming care for kids. Okay, well, that's one symptom. They're going to go to bathrooms, which they've done with the schools in red states, and okay, that's another symptom of the disease. And now they're going to expand that to bathrooms for everyone on the federal level. Okay, that's another symptom of the disease. And I see this expanding, and it's all symptoms of a larger disease of just pure hatred and bigotry toward trans people. I mean, that's full stop. That's what it is. What they, the motherfuckers in the Republican Party, what they want is our eradication. Full stop. That is their end goal. And the progression I'm seeing here, what I anticipate happening is, they'll push through the bathroom bans, and then next year January hits, boom, you're gonna get that full stop on gender affirming care. They'll probably start with surgeries with surgeries and medications for minors, which is it's really not even it's that shit doesn't even really happen. It's exceedingly rare for the surgeries to happen below age of 18, and the HRT and puberty I cannot talk, puberty blockers and such. That's it is what it is at this point. I hate it. I hate that that people are being told that they cannot make the medically sound judgments for their own bodies, for their kids' bodies, that bodily autonomy apparently only exists if you are cisgender and apparently male. Because, well, look at the shit they're doing with reproductive health care. I mean, so it's a lesser degree, but it is still being heavily policed. And it's all being put in the hands of the government to dictate what we can and cannot do with our own fucking bodies. So anyway, so until now, I've been able to live with it, but I know that come next year they're going to expand all that shit, and they're going to start encompassing adults with gender dysphoria, and they're going to start, as I'm anticipating it, they'll outlaw the surgeries first, probably by mid-year, and they'll probably follow up in the latter half of 2025 by banning all gender-affirming HRT by the end of the year. I mean, the fact of the matter is they just do not want us as trans people to exist. That's what it boils down to. They hate us, they despise us that much that they want us eradicated from not just public life, but from life in general. And I'll be honest with you, I expect to give them what they want as far as the eradication goes. I'm slowly making peace with it, but I do intend to remove myself from this madness sometime before the end of next year, preferably before the holidays, just so that I don't totally ruin everybody's holidays next year. But yeah, this kind of goes hand in hand with what I talked about last time. I go back and forth about just wanting to be totally forgotten or wanting to have someone left behind. Well, the way I look at it is, I don't want to live in a world where I'm being strong-armed, where I'm being forced into detransition. I've been fighting with this shit for so many years. I literally lost my mind due to the gender dysphoria that I had before I started HRT. I mean, I had a dual personality. I had basically a split personality where I had two people inside of me, and they only reconciled back into one person after I started HRT again, or HRT to begin with. They became one person again, and it was only because I've been on HRT that I've been able to stave off a relapse on that. And you're going to tell me that you want to remove my ability to access that? I mean, I guarantee that they are going to go for that. And call me a conspiracy theorist or whatever, but the fact of the matter is the Republicans, they hate us. They want us out of existence. And now they have the trifecta in Congress and the presidency and the courts. There's nothing to stop them. So, and I would rather die at my own hand than to be subjected to laws and regulations telling me what I can and cannot do with my own fucking body. So it would be my final act of defiance against a government that hates me to take the gun that I got sitting over there and put a bullet in my head, because I'm fucking done with it. I'm fucking sick of everything. I am so fucking tired of fighting. I'm fucking tired of the hate, of the bigotry, of people never growing and understanding what the fuck it is that we go through every day. It's a nonstop daily thing where we have to sit there and listen to the hate, listen to people tell us that we're that we're predators, that we're pedophiles, that we're that we're rapists, whatever. Where's your fucking proof, asshole? In fact, my assist people do a fuck of a lot more than we ever did. You go through all this shit, and what are we? 1% of the population, and maybe 2% if you want to get really aggressive with it. But at the end of the day, we are only about 3 million people in the country. But you're going to focus all this attention on driving us out of existence because you need a scapegoat. You need someone to demonize, to dehumanize, to label as the source of the problem. It's never enough to just take responsibility for the shit that you've done, for your failed policies, for having no solutions to the problems. You'll find a boogeyman to blame, and now it's us. Now you want us to suffer because you're incompetent. You're sitting in your Washington, D.C. offices. You're incompetent, and you have no fucking clue what's going on in the real world. But you see, oh, here's a marginalized people that we can rally a bunch of hatred against and blame them for everything. Well, I've had to endure that for decades. Whether it be visible or if I was just suffering in silence because I was too scared to speak out. I just had to sit there and take it because I dare not speak up because I wasn't out yet. But here I am. I'm out now, and I can't go back. I can't go back to living as that thing I was expected to be when I was young. It doesn't happen. It cannot happen. I will not allow that to happen. Forced detransition is a crime. I don't care if it fits the legal definition or not. The fact of the matter is that it is criminal, it is inhumane, it is cruel. It's cruelty for the sake of cruelty. It's that saying that the cruelty is the point. And at the end of it all, no one benefits. You talk about how all these rules, all these restrictions, all these pseudo laws are supposed to protect quote unquote real women. Okay, so let me paint a little picture for you. In my life, I have met, and this is real people that I've met face to face. shaking their hands, giving them high fives, whatever. I have actually physically met, more trans men than trans women. And I gotta be, I'll be as blunt as I can. You would never know that they were trans if you didn't know them beforehand, or if they hadn't told you. And the majority of these trans men that I've met have tended to be, bulkier. A lot of them have a lot of facial hair going on. They got the beards, got mustaches, whatever, and they would not be mistaken for women. It's just full stop. They will not be mistaken for women, but you want to force them into their quote unquote correct bathroom. You're going to force them into the women's bathrooms again. And how is that going to make quote unquote real women feel? When they're checking their makeup next to next to a 200-pound beefcake, with a full beard, who just happened to have been born female. Is she really going to feel safe with that guy standing there next to her? I'm guessing not. But in the eyes of the politicians, the only things the only trans people that exist apparently are trans women. It's like, okay, so you're just going to conveniently ignore more than half of the trans population to shove through these draconian, these outdated laws and restrictions based on flawed on flawed data, on perception, from people that don't even have skin in the game, really. But anyway, the truth of the fact of the matter is, I don't expect to finish this fight. I'm too tired. I'm exhausted. I'm spent. I've been watching this bullshit unfold for 30 plus years, and I got no gas left in the tank. I'm done. So I'm still working on the actual method I plan to use to snuff my flame out and move on to the next phase of my existence. But I don't know if I would have the nerve to pull the trigger with a simple bullet to the head, or if I have to get a little more creative with some medications. But I know my preferred method is a knife, but I've tried. My nerves get in the way. When you start to feel the pain, it blocks you. You just instinctively will just instinctively pull away and not be able to complete the cut. I've tried many times in the past, but I could never do it. I could never follow through with that, because it takes more than a half second to do it. So therein lies my issue. My fucking nervous system gets in the way. Or in the case of anything else, I just wind up, I overthink things and wonder, okay, what if I botch it? What if I don't do it correctly? What if I got the directions wrong as far as what a good mixture would be for pill A and pill B, and mix it with whatever I want to drink it, to wash it down or whatever. I start overanalyzing, and then I just go, okay, well, if I fuck it up, then I'm probably just gonna be, a medical liability for the rest of my life. So I'm trying to get over that, and chances are next year, once the Trump bans start going into place, I would expect that there will be a spiral of despair that will finally numb my nerves to the point that I can actually follow through with it. So I would anticipate by the latter half of the year I'd be done. So kind of trying to make the next half year or so worthwhile before I punch that clock. I guess I have to put a trigger warning on this one. It's funny though. I mean, I've never put any real stock into my life, the value of it, and I've always just looked at my life as inconsequential, as total waste. Like, why the fuck have I been allowed to live all this time? I've either been indifferent to death or I've wanted to die, basically since I was 19. But somehow, the involuntary systems of the body keep me here. They keep getting in the way. They keep prolonging my suffering, prolonging my misery on this fucking rock, mired with all these corrupt assholes. This stench, this evil, this all this bullshit that we have to endure because we were born at this point in history, and we have no say in anything. Sure, we have an illusion of choice when it comes to what job you want to get or how you want to spend some of your money, but that's all surface level. At the end of the day, you've got a government that wants you to have no control over your body, wants to restrict where you can and can't go, what you can and can't do with your own internal organs, your own internal systems, how you look, how you present yourself, how you sound, what you wear. You got a government that wants to police all of that. Fuck it. I'm done. I'm out. I don't want anything to do with that, with that world. Problem is, as much as I desire death, I just can't get myself to do it. I pick up that gun, I stare at it, I put the bullets in, and then I look at it, wishing, praying that I could just turn the barrel toward me and just, oops, but no, I can't. I get cold feet every time. Honestly, at this point, I'd rather someone just straight up murder me in cold blood. Just be done with it. But I know people think that I'm just being overly dramatic, but it's, in the case of people like me, it's all coming to a head, and I don't have the fortitude to keep going. I'm exhausted. I'm tired of being a pawn. I'm tired of being a prisoner of the system. A system that doesn't even want me to be part of it anyway. So why do I have to suffer and play this shitty game with a bunch of assholes that don't want me to exist in the first place? So maybe in half a year from now things will have changed. I don't know, for the better, but I don't think so. All I see is ruin and devastation coming, and it's not a world that I have the strength to be a part of anymore. I just, all I want to do is just live my life as me. But thanks to not even half of America, you know, getting everything wrong, you know, I'm gonna be stuck in a world with no hope. So anyway, I'm super depressed now. I'm gonna go take some take some gummies and go to bed because I'm tired. I'm sick of everything, and fuck it. We'll talk to you later.